All right, what we're going to do today is just give you a little preempt of what shoulders are all about here. And typically what we do is we'll start with the lighter weights, such as, and weights are all relative, but I start out with 40s, with 50s, 60s, and 70s, and ultimately when I get to my top of my set, that's what I call getting home. And once I get home, I stay there for 3 rounds. And the reason for that is because I've warmed my body up to the point that I've gotten to the maximum weight that I say maximum, about 80% of my max of what I use to train with. What that does is that gives me an opportunity to operate with maximum weight and maximum pressure on the muscle group for 3 sets. Typically my weight, my sets may be anywhere from 8 to 6 reps. If it's depending on the day, it may just be a 6-5-4 type set. And then what I'll do is I'll progress back down, and of course as I get lighter, then I will do more reps as I get lighter in my sets. So once I get done with this, the only rest I have, and this is critical, is this rest time has to be to a minimum. Rest time between sets is considered intensity. Intensity being the minimal amount of rest time between one set to the next. So what we'll do here is we'll get our shoulders, we'll do Arnold presses here. And the form that you see is critical because a lot of people do not do this exercise right when you see them in the gym. The idea is to bring the weights to the very front of the body, not out here, not out here, to bring it to the front. Then to turn and crest at the top, but don't lock out. The reason for that is you're going to be able to work all three heads of the shoulder. Once we're done, we'll set that down. We'll walk right back over to the Smith machine where I'll do a set of shrugs behind the back. As soon as I get done with that, I'll rack it, I'll sit down, and I'll do another set of shrugs, basically to the center. You'll notice when we do shrugs that we do them straight up and down, no rolling movements, none of that stuff. It's totally unnecessary. Simply straight up, straight down. And the idea there is to make sure that you feel the very bottom of the shrug. Keep your body erect, keep it straight, keep it erect, keep it tight. Let that weight drag your shoulders down as deep as you can get it until you feel that bottom. Then bring it to the top as high as you can, pause for a second and back down. No rolling movements, none of this stuff right here, no momentum. Let the muscle do all the work. We'll set it down, and then of course I come right back over here and I start again. So I work my way up, I level off, I stay home for 3 sets, then I work myself back down. And that's basically the shoulder workout. So we're going to go ahead and show you one full set, one full round. I'm at the top of my set right now. And you'll get to see exactly how we go about it. So here we go. You're going to start with heavier weights, and weights are all relative. What's heavy to me is light to somebody else, and what's light to somebody else is heavy to the next guy. So you've got to find out what 80% of your max is, and that's where you want to train. So when it gets to fairly heavy weights, and if you don't have a spotter, use your knees and you can spot yourself. All right, so here we go. The idea is to keep your back totally against the bench. Don't scoot out. You got to stay close to the bench so you're not using pecs, you're only using shoulders. We're using the Smith machine here to go behind. It's just a variation. And that's what you have to have in the gym. You got to have variation. Over a period of time, you'll wind up doing everything. There is no one thing that works specifically. You want variation for all your body parts. I like to go behind the back sometimes. And with this, it allows me to really drag those traps down low and deep. And then, of course, just pulling back as hard as I possibly can. So, wrist wraps are important. If you're going to do these, you've got to have a set of wrist wraps. You don't want to rely on grip. Your grip will give away every time before your traps or your back will. Okay, so here's our set. pull that body down as low as you can possibly get it and come back out slow. Now what we're going to do here, same thing, only straight up and down. Your gym may or may not have a bar like this. But what I do is I want to raise the bar. My arms are long enough this way that this curved bar won't touch when I come up. This gives me the opportunity to get a real deep stretch, and at the same time, maximum height when I raise my traps. Okay, here we go. So what's going to happen is you're going to wind up with about a total, by the time you go through these 3 rounds, you're going to wind up with a total of about eight total rounds of 3 exercises of somewhere between 6 to 12 reps on an average. My first 2 sets are anywhere from 25 to 50 reps just to get good and warmed up. But basically after that, the reps come way down because of the heavier weight, the stretch, and the timing of the up and down movements. There's a lot of variations for shoulders, a lot of variations for shrugs, or actually very few for shrugs. This way you get an idea about what shoulder day is all about. This will give you that wide look at the top when your shoulders are nice and round like cannonballs, and allow you to fill your shirt out at the top, around your neck. When you're wearing a shirt, you don't want to have round shoulders and no neck. You need to have that taper up to have that finished physique. So good luck with your training and hope this helps.